Hello, everyone. It's Jeff again, and I am almost in the middle of America today, and I would like to tell you the story of a little town named Arapaho. In 1871, a group of people left Plattsmouth, Nebraska, under the leadership of Captain E.B. Murphy for the purpose of settling a new town on the Republican River. It was named after the Arapaho Indians who used this small valley as their wintering place. A sawmill and a grist mill was constructed in 1872. Then along came a post office, and by 1880, there was around 1,000 people. Early on, they even had a very nice opera house and a peanut vendor selling hot peanuts on the sidewalk. Because this is an area that grows wheat, a state-of-the-art flour mill was constructed. And now I would like to tell you the story of a very young chaplain who was from Poland, and he was a prisoner of war during World War II. And he promised God that if he survived World War II, he wanted to come to America and have his own church, become a priest, and he would build a shrine. Well, after the war, he built this shrine, Our Lady of Fatima, right here in Arapaho, Nebraska. And this was the church that was his parish, St. Germanus Catholic Church. The shrine is absolutely beautiful, and it is very well taken care of, and it's well worth seeing. It is a living legacy of someone who suffered horribly in a POW camp. After the first homestead was founded in 1871, the population quickly swelled to around 1,000 people, where it's basically at today. The problem is that farming has become more automated, and the farms have gotten larger as smaller farms have sold out, and they are being farmed by automated equipment instead of people picking corn or people cutting wheat, which has led to a almost stagnant population since its founding. It was the county seat, but they had a vote to decide whether or not to leave it in Arapaho, and that was the very day that there was a grass fire, and everyone from Arapaho was fighting the fire. Well, when the vote was held, more people from Beaver City voted to have the county seat moved there, and that's exactly what happened. This is the hometown of Dale Hauserman, who is someone I work with, and believe it or not, one night while having dinner and playing on a genealogy site, we discovered that his mother is my 10th cousin. He's going to take us on a brief tour around his hometown and tell us about some of his recollections. Hello everyone, it's Jeff. I'm on my next adventure. I'm in downtown Arapaho, and I'm here with Dale Hauserman, my friend. And Arapaho, Nebraska is his hometown, and we're going to walk through it, and he's going to tell you a few stories about growing up here in the little burg of Arapaho, Nebraska. Does that sound good?
Wonderful.
All right, let's do it.
Sitting in front of Einstein's grocery store back in, way back in the 50s, it was Einstein's, or 40s, 30s. The urban legend has this would have been a relative of Albert's. We can't prove it, and nobody knows where he went, but he's been gone out of here 60, 70 years ago.
It is true that everyone in town says that this little corner grocery store was owned by an Einstein. However, I've been searching and I haven't found any evidence that he was related to Albert, but it is widely believed in this town that he was in fact a cousin. Okay, for somebody like me, I went to 13 schools in 12 years because my parents were absolute gypsies. I went to 3 schools in 1 year once. So this is an alien concept to me. But basically, you went to the elementary school here, and then you went to the junior high, and then you went to the high school, right?
Same school system every year, kindergarten until 12th grade.
Wow. And you had a ranch out on the edge of town, a farm?
About 5 miles south here.
And that basically is where you lived your whole life?
Yep, every day until we got out of high school.
I lived in 5 houses once in 1 year growing up.
I've been in 3 houses in Arapaho.
I came home from school once and walked in, and my mother said, "Oh, you got to hurry back to school." And I said, "Well, everybody's gone." "Oh, no, you got to hurry back to school. The janitor or somebody will be there." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because you're not going back, we're moving." Okay, so you left here and you went to college. You went to the University of Nebraska.
Yep.
And then you came back here.
Yep.
And you live in town now.
Yep.
So it must really be weird, or it must really be odd to you because town has changed so much in the last 70 years.
Well, they all do. They all move forward. Business has changed. And the way they do farming changed. The way the telephones work changed. The internet changed. You walk down the street here and somebody will say hi to you. Knows you.
Yeah, the man from the theater just poked his head out and said hello.
Which is those 2 weirdos sitting at a park bench out in front of the theater this time of night.
In a documentary. Yeah. Well, if the cops come, we really are filming a documentary.
One of these used to be the old Clark's Cafe. There's a Indian mural inside there with buffaloes and Indians out roaming around. And after that, you got to the bank. It's been here since it went broke in the 80s, and they got a new bank. And the farm crisis of the 80s. The white building on the corner with the blue awning, that was the bank in the 30s. It didn't make it through the Depression. And next door, there was one time was a grocery store in there, and then it was might have been a creamery place, and then there was a dress shop after that. Then we went to the American Legion. On top of the American Legion, there used to be a cupola or a observation deck up there where theoretically they're going to watch for Nazi or Japanese airplanes coming through in the 40s. But they were a long ways from getting here. And then we went to the barbershop. That's new when he moved across in the 70s on the other side of the street. And then next there we got that's a new building. The barber, and then that MNB thing, that was originally Andy J. the cobbler. He completely rebuilt boots in there.
Dale's father was killed in a farming accident when he was in high school. Dale's cousin was one of the rocket scientists that worked on the V-2 rocket during World War II. At the end of the war, he was one of the people listed in Operation Paperclip, and he was brought over by the U.S. Army to Huntsville, Alabama, where I believe, from what I've read, he worked on rocket fuel chemistry and was one of the people responsible for them eventually making it to the moon. The flour mill is gone. Later, a cotton gin was built in the area, but they no longer grow cotton in this area. Downtown Arapaho, Nebraska, on a Friday evening in mid-July, where the thermometer in the truck reads 106 and the thermometer on the bank reads 99. Either way, I can tell you, it is extremely hot. Remember, everyone, Be good to one another. Do good deeds, think good thoughts, and I will see you on another adventure.